Okay, I don't think the stream went out with my voice until this time, so I'm probably just gonna have to resetting everything. So this is the second board. This is the one that doesn't react at all when connected to the power. The one I showed in the last stream, I ended up capping it all and then ended up working perfectly. So that was a success. These ones have, like I showed you in the video, for people who haven't seen it yet, it's very corroded right here. Over on C27, C28. And also there's the rest of the board. This one is pretty corroded too. With this much corrosion, I could also guess that there could be some problems with the traces on the board. But I'm gonna hope there isn't, because that could mean further headaches. Let me just center this. Or not. Alright, so what I'm doing right now while I'm streaming in the bathroom is because there's a sink and there's a motherboard. There's water. I also have distilled water, but I'm going to use that only to rinse off because I don't have quite enough to warm it up and do the bath. I also have here some dish soap that I just found in the kitchen. And I'm going to wash the board off the corrosion. You also need some, or actually you only need one. You need one of these, one of a old toothbrush you don't use, so it can brush off all the corrosion off. Which is not you. Alright, so I think that was enough of a summary I said before. I realized the mic cut off. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to fill the water up in this sink. It's actually a perfect fit for the board, so you're not very lucky. It's a bit hot. I'm actually going to rinse out this part first. There might be some contaminants left in the sink, so I'm just going to wipe it down. Yeah, there's definitely some soap in here. Yep. Not that it could have been a problem though, because we're using dish soap anyway. Might have helped, but we never know. There might be some dirt stuff in here. Alright, let's start filling it up. So before you wash motherboards such as these, you have to take off all the capacitors. I think tantalum capacitors or solid capacitors are okay, but most ideally you should only wash your motherboard after you take off the old capacitors. That way you don't have anything to mess up. Also, you must take out all the batteries, such as lithium batteries or any kind of battery in there to kind of keep your PRAM settings, is what I've read at least. Yeah, and you add a drop of dish soap to kind of help with the process of eliminating it, and then you should dunk it in the water for about 10 minutes, I heard. Then you have to thoroughly dry, so you should leave it drying for more than a few days before you actually start it up. But I'm going to be recapping this anyway, so I'm probably just going to leave this alone for a few days, and then maybe recap it, and then I'll put it in the machine and see what it does. It was already completely broken anyway, so if it doesn't work, I'll leave it about $15, which is about how much the caps cost. Alright, so the water is filled up. I'm just going to put this in the timer ding. Yep, okay. Put a drop of this soap. Alright. Let's do this. I have never done something like this before, so kind of nervous. And make sure, even after getting rid of the battery, you should also wait out a few minutes so that the battery discharges. Because if there's some charge left in the board and you put it in water, it's going to short itself out and probably burn some chips. Or possible of burning some chips, which is never a good sign. Normally, I would not dunk the board in the water, though I have thought of doing this. But this board was already in such a poor shape that I thought it would be. I couldn't lose any. I couldn't lose. And also, if you do leave some stuff in the motherboard with like all the fluids, it'll probably show the symptoms of the dying board again. So you're just kind of, I don't know, you're not doing the best job you could be doing. We're supposed to put it in the water for about 10 minutes. I'm not sure if I should stay watching this. I don't know why I should watch this, but okay, let me just double check I have everything off. See some bubbles coming out? I think that's from all like the contact pins where the air was inside. And they say you should always before getting it out, you have to use like canned air or something to get all the water out of the contacts before you do anything with the board. Ouais. Okay. That should be about enough time to wash the board, I believe. I mean, scrub the board. Okay, I'm gonna start with these ones and see how it turns out. I think it's actually working quite well. Okay, let me just bring down the aim a little bit. This is definitely much easier than doing it outside. Yes, this is definitely working. Definitely getting rid of all the corrosion. Okay, I'll finish that later. Let's move on to here. This is actually very effective. I'm cleaning the capacitors for the switches right now. They seem to have cleaned very well, except for this one. This one's a little in the tight spot right here. It's the one I'm trying to clean right now. Actually, I'll turn it around. This one is in a quite tight spot. I don't even think the brush can reach it. And this is the place that needs most cleaning. Oh, actually, the switch is cleaned up very nice as well. Cool. All right, let's dip it in once more Here's the capacitor C22. I'll also show it the board now. I wonder if the board fits this way. No, it doesn't. Okay. So the board is right here. C22 capacitor right here. There's C9 to C11 capacitors, which will leak a lot as well. Apparently, these audio chips right here, you can still get a hold of them on some websites. So if like your audio is too faint or can't hear anything, it's not the you replace capacitors a few times, then it's one of the chips. You buy them. I forgot what the prices were, but the website did look pretty old, so they might not be in business right now. I know there are some chip boards that use this, not motherboards, maybe some audio cards, and you can use them as donors. Okay, let's do these last. The C14 and C116s. Okay. I can tell that the green corrosion that used to be on some of these capacitors are now gone, so that's a positive sign. Let me just drain the water. I do see some corrosion that I used a toothbrush to get off. I'll do my second wash right now. Okay, inspecting the board out of the water. So I shouldn't do direct contact. Right. Just drop in another soap. Stop the water here. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna fill it with normal water to get the soap out, and then I'll finish the rinsing with some distilled water. There is actually some chrome left here, so I'm gonna do the direct. Okay. Okay, I'll actually rinse it for real this time. The two silent chips I was talking about before. Actually, not like the corrosions are off. I do notice some moving traces. Yeah. I don't think it should be too easy. Alright, let me get still water. This is the distilled water. Arrowhead, got it for 99 cents today. Just gonna take this off. Should be enough. The distilled water will probably not contain the minerals that are found in tap water, so it should be better for the board. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna probably set the hairdryer on cool and dry this arm. I don't think anyone wants to listen to hairdryer for the next 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna end the stream here. And hopefully this works. This isn't a lesson video of any kind, it's just a documentation of how I get things. And hopefully it'll give some ideas to some people that want to try this on their own. Thank you.